I'm TarotOracle, and this is the good tarot, as opposed to the bad tarot, I guess. Evidently, it's good. Let's see how good it is. This is a gift from the wonderful and beautiful Christina, who gave this to me as a gift. So thank you, Christina. This is by Colette Baron Reid. And you have heard me many times say that Colette Baron Reid cannot make a bad deck of cards. Every single one of them are just stunningly beautiful. Obviously a hard box, and it's a two-parter, a little two-piecer. And is it going to come off? Yes, it's going to come off. Congratulations, I can remove a box top. All right, so we have apparently a very nice little book. This is nice. It's black and white. It appears to be about, let's see, 120-ish pages. We'll go through the book later. For now, let's drag out the cards. And these are large. These are quite large. So, yeah. This is an older deck. I don't think this is new. Let's see, what year is this? I can't find it quickly. It's been out. Anyway, there's the back of the deck. And here is the side of the deck. No gilded edges or whatnot, but oh well. And here is the front. And that is a startlingly beautiful deck of cards, I gotta say. I'm back to Colette Baron Reid cannot make a bad deck of cards. So I'm still kind of wondering what the year was that this was made, and I guess I'm not going to find out. Okay, so we have the Fool. The Fool is a very attractive card there. Look at just the colors on that. That is very, very pretty. So pretty happy with sort of how this looks, just first impression. It looks like it did come out in 2017. I did find it in the book. Wow, that is nice. The very heavily laminated, very large cards. If you look at just a standard tarot card like mine, these are substantially larger, so they look good. Cards are fairly thick. Not just like massive, massive thick, but pretty nice. That is a very attractive magician. Very attractive magician. And man, these are laminated. A lot of lamination. Look how pretty that is. The High Priestess. That looks so cool. Looks so cool. The Empress. Yeah, a lot of lamination. A lot of lamination on these. You can see them sort of glistening in the light. The Emperor. That's very pretty. I don't know, like, who does she pick up for these artists that are doing this? Because, Jesus, this looks good. It looks really, really good. Anyway, all right, the Hierophant. We got a little bit of that love action there. A little bit of the love action there. Nice. And the Chariot. We'll love her strength. Yeah, the Chariot. Very pretty indeed. And Strength. There we go. A little strength action there. That's kind of nice. A Hermit. Okay. I don't see an actual Hermit, but that is the Hermit. The Fortune's Wheel. A little bit of a rename, but not anything like substantially bad. Not anything just in your face kind of rename. I like just how sort of ethereal all the cards look. And yeah, just really, really pretty stuff. Hanged Man. Very unusual. Kind of just like falling off, falling out. Again, very ethereal. Everything very dreamy. This would be great for dream readings, wouldn't it? What do you think? Dream readings? Sort of a great little dream reading deck. We have Patience. I know some people are not a fan of renamed cards, but it's kind of pretty obvious, you know, where we're going with that. Temptation. A little bit of the devil action there. Very cool. I like the heart sort of ingrained within the multicolored fruit there. And you have the money. Yeah, heavy lamination. The Tower. Sort of already crumbled down, or pieces crumbled already. And the Star. That's pretty. Yeah, really, really nice deck of cards. Moon. And Sun. Yeah, very sort of pixelated, ethereal, dreamy, cloudy. Call. We have the Judgment, basically, and the World. So obviously some of these are renamed, but it's not something where you're just going to be completely lost. You're going to be like, I have no idea what that is. Hey, wow, that is pretty. Page of Air. Well done. Well done. Call that Baron Reed. Well done indeed. And Messenger of Air, which I assume is the Knights. Then we have the Queen. Ooh, look at the owl. Look at the owl action on that. That is so cool. And then the King. Again. It reminds me a little bit of Ciro Marchetti. I mean, not leaning completely in that direction, but doesn't it though? Doesn't it remind you like just a little bit? With a lot less gold. Like everything with Ciro is like gold this, gold that. Anyway, Ace of Air. So we start out with the courts and then we go into the aces. And the 2, sort of a revamped 2 of Swords. Not really blindfolded, sort of reversed or looking away from us. We have the 3 of Swords, the little heartbreak. It's more of an angel-y. I mean, they're really sort of, yeah, here we go. We're kind of samey now, but they're really sort of went a different direction. I mean, heartbreak, resting. I can see a little bit of the resting. Heartbreak, not so much. The Lord of Defeat. I don't really see it. I don't really see it. It's sort of a very positive spin on that, basically. 6 of Swords. You can see that. That's a nice ship, airship interpretation of that. A little Final Fantasy action going on there. And then the 7 of Swords, sort of the escapism and whatnot. Now we have a blindfold on, which should have been the 2 of Swords. But we sort of don't know what's going on at that point, right? And then the 8. The 8. 8 of Swords, okay. Restrictions, maybe they're too high up. Maybe they're stuck in there. And then the 9. 9 looks pretty cool. Yeah, not very Rider-Waite-Smith interpretation friendly. But the 10 of Air, at least she's not like stabbed with swords and whatnot. And then we have the Fire. The Page of Fire makes a little bit of sense. Then the Knight of Wands. Interesting. And then the Queen of Wands with the organization, with the multitasking, I can see it. And then the King of Wands, where a little love, a little hard action there. Pretty cool. We have the Ace. I do kind of like this though. I like how the color, I like it just how it just takes the color scheme and rides with it. It doesn't really try to justify the color scheme. It just goes with it. So the Fire is definitely a feeling of fire. The 2 of Fire, illuminating in the clouds and whatnot. And the 3 sort of looking out amongst the lands. You sort of loosely come back to this. The 4, okay. The 4, okay. I'm not sure what's happening. Then the 5 being the conflict. I don't really see conflict. So again, I mean, a pretty heavy reinterpretation of this, but it's so pretty. 6 of Wands. It's interesting indeed. And then the 7. Ooh, that is a pretty card. That is a very attractive card. The 7 of Fire looks fantastic. 6 of Fire with a hot air balloon. Ooh, very nice. Little Valentine's Day action going there. And then the 8 with the panda with something riding it. And a 9. So, yeah, heavy reinterpretation of these cards, but so pretty. And the 10, the 10, a little bit of encumbrance. Trying to juggle everything, trying to get it all done. And the Page coming into the water, the aqua. A little bit of the color reuse from some of the airs. The Knight. That's interesting. And the Queen. And the King. And the King has a little Poseidon adventure feel, doesn't it? And the Ace, ooh, I like this. I love the seahorse interpretation of that Ace. Definitely do. A little goldfish action for the 2. And then the 3, I have no idea what's going on here. The 3 of Wands, there we go. And then the 3 of Cups. And then the 4 of Cups. Not really wanting what we're being offered. I don't see it. The Five of Cups doesn't look like disappointment. Maybe that's sort of a far reach of disappointment. This looks like disappointment. The Six of Cups, it does indeed look like that. It's interesting that we have the reflection, though. You could sort of read on that and pick that up. I think that's pretty cool. And then we got the Seven of Cups. So we got that. Looks pretty decent. Looks pretty nice. Into the Eight. The Eight is nice. And the Nine. More mermaid, more clam action. And finally the 10, where we just have sort of this happy statue. Just a happy statue. There we go. Finally, going into the Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, sort of interesting. I'm not really sure what that is. Maybe it's some sort of a... I have no idea what it is. I have no idea at all what it is. Messenger of Earth, a little knight of... There you go. And then we have the Queen. And finally, the King. This is pretty cool looking. All right. I mean, now we're going for the Ace of Earth. Then the two sort of juggling. Oh, we picked up a little Rider-Waite feel here. The 2 with the juggling action. And then the 3. I like it. I like it a lot. And let's see. Finally going forth with the 4. And the 5. They're very ethereal, like I said. The 6 looks pretty cool. It's definitely definitely sort of a combo there. Definitely a little combo there. And then the 7 and 8. Whoops. The 8 and the 9 and the 10. Overall, very, very pretty. Far, far stretch from the Rider-Waite. There is enough symbolism, enough uniqueness within here that I like it. I mean, definitely something we can use. So, for example, this random example. A little bit of the 6 of fire, the 6 of wands, right? The 6 of wands is normally not going to be this interpretation. It's going to be the Lord of victory, successes, and people cheering for you and whatnot. You still have a very loose option of that, with maybe the other balloons are cheering you and you're rising above, but you still have sort of that rising above feel. In addition, you have a ship which you can use for, you know, sort of interpretations and whatnot. You're on a journey. So instead of being the horse, you're on an airship. Airship has double supports. It has a sail, so you know where you're going, or you're being guided basically by the wind, and you have support for what you're doing. So there's just a loose example of how you can sort of pick this up and go with it in the new interpretations. Again, very, very laminated, like thick lamination. All right, let me turn the brightness down a little bit while we look at the book. The camera has a habit of blowing out the whites, so we're going a little darker here. If it's a little too dark, I apologize in advance, but again, the camera has a habit of blowing out the whites. So here we go. My history with tarot. Colette, by the way, if you're not familiar with Colette Baron-Reid, she has a gazillion decks, and all of them are stunning. This is very story-ish. This is very story-ish. I think we're sort of in a interpretation of the numbers here. And then we have the 22 trumps as we enter page 1 and 2, etc. So very light on the text. Very light on the text. The Fool, enthusiasm. The Magician is alchemy. You get a paragraph, which is startlingly small amount of information. So, yeah, this is not be a good deck. It's not be a good deck for beginners. No doubt about that. It is a good tarot. It's called the Good Tarot. I would not recommend this for the beginners. It's really light on interpretations. It extremely varies from the original Rider-Waite Smith. So if you're trying to sort of learn these things, and it has a lot of renames. So, you know. All right. Then you have the 10 of air. And then we have an introduction as we move into action, which is same as the wands. There we go. The Queen of Fire, the Messenger of Fire. There you go. You can pause and read. All right, so that's basically it. Let's sort of go through the back, see what we got. We got readings, basically a tutorial on how to read and whatnot. and maybe an example. There you go. So it goes through an example with the Knight of Water, Two of Air, etc., and gives you sample reads on that. I don't see any spreads. No, don't see any spreads, but pretty lightweight book. Pretty heavily reinterpreted images, as well as some renames on the cards. Definitely not a beginner deck, but it certainly is attractive. And overall, I'm very pleased with this. Thank you again, Christina, for the stunningly beautiful deck. This is really nice. Let me turn back up the brightness. There we go. Anyway, if you like this, please hit like and subscribe. As always, thank you for watching, and see you next time.